Imagine a world where catching a simple disease meant almost certain death. A world where one infection wiped out entire villages, scarred survivors for life, and terrified parents every time their child sneezed. That disease was smallpox, one of the deadliest killers in human history. But what if I told you that the cure didn't come from advanced science or giant laboratories, but from a cow? Yes, a humble farm animal changed the course of medicine and saved millions of lives. Before we dive in, make sure you subscribe to Untold Vault, because today's story is going to uncover the strange, shocking, and life-saving history behind the world's first vaccine. The reign of smallpox. For thousands of years, smallpox haunted humanity. Ancient Egyptian mummies show traces of its scars. In Asia, Europe, and eventually the Americas, outbreaks were so devastating that entire populations collapsed. The virus didn't just kill, it tortured. Survivors were left blind, disfigured, and marked with the infamous pitted scars that made smallpox one of the most feared diseases on Earth. By the 18th century, smallpox was killing hundreds of thousands every year in Europe alone. Parents lived in constant fear. If your child caught it, chances were nearly 1 in 3 that they wouldn't survive. It was this nightmare that set the stage for one of the most unusual discoveries in medical history. The strange observation. In the English countryside, farmers noticed something curious. Milkmaids, the women who milked cows, almost never caught smallpox. While others lived in fear, these milkmaids seemed protected, their skin unscarred, their lives untouched by the epidemic. Why? The answer lay in a similar but far less deadly disease called cowpox. Milkmaids often caught cowpox from infected cows, which gave them mild blisters on their hands. The illness was uncomfortable but harmless, and somehow it seemed to make them immune to smallpox. This folk belief, whispered in villages and passed down among farmers, would soon spark a revolution. Enter Edward Jenner. In the late 1700s, a young English doctor named Edward Jenner grew fascinated by this strange connection. He had heard stories of milkmaids proudly declaring, "I shall never have smallpox, I have had cowpox." Jenner wanted to test it scientifically, and what he did next would change history. In 1796, Jenner found a milkmaid with fresh cowpox sores. He took pus from her blisters and inserted it into the arm of an 8-year-old boy named James Phipps. The boy developed a mild fever, a few spots, and then recovered. Weeks later, Jenner deliberately exposed James to smallpox, and the boy didn't get sick. For the first time ever, someone had been protected against smallpox without actually catching it. Jenner called this new method vaccination from vacca, the Latin word for cow. The world reacts. But not everyone was convinced. When Jenner published his findings, people were horrified. Imagine being told that injecting cow pus into your body could protect you. Satirical cartoons mocked Jenner, showing people who received the vaccine growing cow heads and horns. Preachers called it unnatural and sinful. Parents feared it more than the disease itself. Yet slowly, evidence began to speak louder than fear. Across Europe, children vaccinated with cowpox stopped dying from smallpox. In time, governments began promoting the vaccine, sometimes even making it mandatory. The spread of a life-saving idea. From England, the vaccine spread across the world. In 1803, Spain launched the famous Royal Philanthropic Vaccine Expedition. A ship sailed to the Americas carrying not bottles of medicine, but 22 orphan boys. Each boy was vaccinated in sequence, arm to arm, keeping the cowpox virus alive across the ocean, so it could be delivered to colonies where smallpox raged. In Asia, India, and Africa, vaccination campaigns began saving countless lives. What started as a folk observation about milkmaids turned into a global medical movement. The end of smallpox. Over the next 2 centuries, vaccination became humanity's greatest weapon. By the 20th century, widespread vaccination campaigns were eliminating smallpox village by village, city by city. Finally, in 1980, the World Health Organization declared smallpox completely eradicated the first disease humans have ever defeated. And it all started with a cow, a milkmaid, and a doctor bold enough to try something strange. The legacy of Jenner's discovery. Edward Jenner's work didn't just save millions from smallpox. It laid the foundation for every vaccine we have today, from polio to measles, from influenza to COVID-19. Modern medicine's greatest defense against infectious disease can all be traced back to that single experiment in 1796. Jenner himself once said, "Future generations will know by history only that the loathsome smallpox has existed." He was right. Today, smallpox exists only in history books, and humanity owes that victory to one man, one boy, and one cow. So, the next time you hear debates about vaccines, remember the strange and incredible story of how it all began. Not in a laboratory, not in a royal palace, but on a farm, with a milkmaid and her cow. If you enjoyed this untold story, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Untold Vault for more dark, fascinating, and world-changing histories.